Hey there, it's Flatbread Friday, and I had some shrimp in my freezer, left over from some other stuff I've made, and I also had some of those super hot peppers from my garden, and it occurred to me that I could make my own hot honey with my peppers. And what we're gonna do today is make a bacon and shrimp flatbread drizzled with hot honey, and it's gonna be good, and let's do it. First thing we're gonna do is slice up our peppers. I'm leaving the seeds in because there's honey, and so that's gonna add some sweetness. And I think this will be enough peppers. I'm gonna just slice them into little rings. That's a lot of seeds. It's gonna be a lot of hot. And because I'm gonna strain these off at the end, we can leave these little ends on. And they're gonna go into a saucepan. You should always wear gloves when you're cutting up jalapeno peppers so you don't touch your eyes and burn your eyeballs off or anything like that. So the next step is a cup of honey. And now we're going to take this over to the stove, and we're going to start it out on medium-low heat. And when this reaches the simmering point, you do not want to boil honey because it will burn. We're going to simmer this for a while so that the honey gets infused with the heat from these peppers. And then there's one more step, and our hot honey will be done. I have the bacon in the oven, and so that'll be done too. Looks like we have some more. Get in there, you. We're warming up nicely. Not at the simmering point quite yet, but we're getting there. I also wanted to mention that in place of these fresh peppers, if you wanted to, you could use canned chilies, or you could use just crushed red pepper flakes, a couple of tablespoonfuls, and strain them off if you want to. But if you like things really super duper spicy, just leave them in. Starting to get a few little bubbles around the edges. I've turned this down to just low, and we're going to let these infuse into this honey for about a half hour over simmering low heat. It's been about 25 minutes, and I tested the honey, and it's not hot at all. So in goes a few more. I've increased the heat back up, and I'm also going to sprinkle in some red pepper flake. That is going to be hot, but that's what we want. So it's going to take a little more time. We have our flatbread crust laid out, and we're going to start building our pizza now that our hot honey is just about done. The first thing that's going on is some sauce. Let's see if that's good. We're going to spread it out to the edges and all the way around. Now comes some mozzarella cheese. By the way, our honey is heating up nicely now. So, the reason I bought a par-cooked pizza crust for this one is because I don't want the shrimp to overcook. The par-cooked crust only take 10 or 15 minutes as opposed to 20 or 25 like the raw crusts. So that's what's going to happen with this. And our shrimp are big. Okay, cheese down. Our bacon is cooked. Probably not going to use all that, but I think I'll put the shrimp on. Here's our shrimp. I think I'm going to want more shrimp coverage on our flatbread. So I'm going to cut these. I think I'm going to do it this way, so they still look like shrimp. cut them up and lay them on. Cut the long way like this. And on they go. And now we're going to finish that up. It dawned on me, and I remembered at the last minute, that I have a little homemade Cajun seasoning. It's salt, pepper, paprika. I actually use smoked paprika, cayenne pepper, oregano, onion powder, garlic powder, and it's kind of spicy, but I think it's going to be good. We're going to just add a little bit and toss up our shrimp pieces to coat it up. And now they're for real going to go. Laying them on. Hopefully we get good coverage. You want to put them what used to be shell side up. Oh yeah. It's going to be a good amount of shrimp. Super good coverage with our shrimp. And next we're going to crumble on some bacon. Just break it up, spread it around. A final last minute thought to fully protect our shrimp is I want to do just a thin little, create a little crust with our shaved Italian 4-cheese blend. Don't need much. I don't want to add too much Parmesan-iness to this flatbread, although it will go good with the hot honey, I think. Okay. Now we're going in 425 degrees. I'm going to ask Alexa for 13 minutes. Our heat is well incorporated into our honey. And the next thing we're going to do is strain it out of this pan. I'm going to put it back into our cup. I do not want what's stuck on the spoon to go in. So here we have our hot honey, and one last step. I'm going to stir in a tablespoon of apple cider vinegar. That gives it a little bit of a tang, and it also helps to preserve it because this will keep at room temperature in a jar for some time now, and we could use it for other stuff, and that'll be fun. Our Cajun shrimp and bacon pizza flatbread is now out of the oven. And we're going to slice it and serve it up with our hot honey drizzle. Our Cajun shrimp and bacon flatbread is on our plate. And now, to create a good way to drizzle, I'm going to put this back in our honey container. Whoa. Messy, oh messy. As you may know from previous videos, I'm more of a creamy topping on a pizza girl, but here comes our honey. And this stuff is hot, and it was a great use for my jalapenos from my garden. And now we're going to give it a bite. Thank you for joining me while I utilized the jalapenos in my garden and used up some of my shrimp and all that stuff. This is going to be so tasty, and we're going in. I was right. It's super yummy. And thank you again for joining me for Flatbread Friday, and we'll see you again soon.